Hi, I'm Exesis, and we are playing the German Empire in the Great War Redux mod for Hearts of Iron 4. Let's just continue off where we were last time, which is running the time, of course. We are currently training up all our troops. We have... we're getting there on the logistics. We're about a year away from war. So we need to get these down under 360, of course, or thereabouts. We are currently training, so we're losing artillery and infantry equipment and howitzers at the moment. Howitzers isn't going to be an issue, but we need to increase our artillery production just a little bit. And the same thing for infantry equipment, we need to produce just a little bit more. We've got a hefty stockpile of support equipment, but it looks like we might be well off increasing production just a little bit of that too. Alright, so we finished the Schutztrupp. And that is over here. This helps with heat attrition for our troops down in Africa. So and now we need to focus a little bit on the future. So we need to start going down towards Fokker down here. So let's focus on the... Let's see, are we actually researching the aircraft? Yes, we are. So we are researching the Fokker M5, which I think is the... was developed into the E1 or the E series, that then the Eindeckers were then used quite a lot in the early war, and the Albatross, of course, the biplanes took over mid-war. And we want to save our, because this is a 1917 tech, we would prefer to have our research bonus, of course, for the 1917 model and not the 1914 model that we are currently researching. But that's going to work out just fine. We're going to grab the focus on light aviation. That is 35 days. No, we're not going to do doctrines. We are building some military factories as well as dockyards, but we are ramping up our military factory production here. Let's see how we are doing for... Yeah, of course we can't go to war economy just yet, but we are in partial mobilization at least. And we are producing armored cars without a template. How many do we have stockpiled? Probably I've got a hefty stockpile of armored cars. How are we doing for... Yes, we got military police here, and they're all on civilian oversight, which is good because the compliance is already high here and resistance is next to none. This is probably the correct setting for all of these states, but with the new ones we might want to switch around. Okay, so we got 90 days now to break Mata out, but we got our new operative. Got two seducers here actually. A linguist is a good one. I could put Theodore in Britain afterwards. Natural orator, no, we're not going to be doing anything of that anyway. And we've got a safe cracker as well. We'll grab Theodore Erler here. We might need to build up an Intel network first, of course. We'll see if we actually have time to save her. I think we should be able to just about do so. The question is, do we want to do... No, we don't want to do more worker conditions. We'll leave them as they are, I think. We want to save that political power for more useful things. So we need 30 strength in our network here to be able to capture her. We're gaining probably 1 per day, hopefully. Maybe a little bit less than so. The death of August Bebel. German socialist August Bebel, co-founder of the Social Democratic Party of Germany and its most influential and popular leader for more than 40 years, died of a heart attack. From being an ordinary worker into becoming a political leader in the struggle for a better social system, Bebel, like no other, embodied the tradition of the German SPD. Already in 1882, Engels had described him as a unique manifestation of the German, indeed, of the European working class. A member of the Reichstag from 1867, almost continuously until his death, he achieved his most celebrated triumphs as a parliamentarian. Even his opponents could not withhold their respect in the face of his passionate honesty. A model workers' leader. And August Bebel retires. Where are we going? We won't have any need for him anyway. Alright, so it's time to exercise this air wing. Let's see if we can add another one here. I want to set these to daytime only operations, of course. And our other fighter wings should already be on a decent enough training. Put some maritime patrols out. Alright, so logistics companies, I think these are going to be big this game. Oh, we're not really ready. Yeah, actually we could go for the next. But I think engineer companies level 2 would probably be a wiser use of that research time. Oh, no. Actually, getting that motorized infantry might not be a bad idea. Neither would getting the... We are to the time now where we can start doing these ahead of time. Artillery and the howitzer upgrades would be good. Artillery is still lacking quite a bit, so we're gonna hold off on that for a little bit. Looks like we are increasing our deficit of artillery and infantry equipment, so we need to look into that. Aircraft, yeah, we could go for some bombers. That's 193 days. Could go for industry as well. Might not be a bad thing. Armored cars, yes, but no. Tanks are still way ahead of time, and we need to do some prerequisite techs here too. We could do that, but I think we'll wait until 1914 for that. Radios, same thing, we'll wait until 1914. I think getting the template, a motorized template up and running might actually be a good thing to do. Ideally we'd want things that we can be producing. Getting the railway guns would be nice too. And we are almost on par with trains now, I think. So we could make the switch to armored. Yeah, well, let's go with armored trains. We can make the switch to armored trains once that is finished. We have... we're just about even on our train production, but we're not losing trains at the moment. So when we have enough trains, we want to replace these trains with armored trains, of course, as needed. It looks like we've got some bomb or airships as well we can use, and some reserve recon planes. We've got the light aviation focus. There's no description on this one. Let's go for the Luftstreitkräfte, the air combat forces. This will give us 2 air doctrine cost reductions, 56 days. What we're really after, of course, is getting Fokker unlocked, as that's going to help our fighters once we get through there. We could probably spend some of that Navy experience. No, we can't. We already fixed that. It'll also unlock the Spirit of Air Force, which is locked behind there for the moment. Now we could be picking these as well, or some doctrines, but I'm saving this up for the motorized template so that we know that we can produce some motorized. And now motorized in this mod isn't as fast as it is in HOI4, of course. It only goes at 8 kilometers per hour. Alright, so we did unlock the M5s, and as tempted as I am to just go straight ahead for the Albatross, I think we're gonna hold off with this one, or maybe for a year, and we'll do some of the other 1914 techs that we desperately need. So let's grab the motorized infantry. But we, of course, will want to get these ones into production to start replacing our early fighters. Oh, let's grab those there. And do we have any... Yeah, we're still waiting for factories for these down here. Let's move the support equipment down a little bit. Actually, let's move the armored cars down to the bottom. And maybe the Zeppelins and recon planes, we don't need them quite that high up either. Let's move the artillery back down. So they are building some production cap there. Would be good to increase the production cap. It looks like the Russians have supply problems on the front, which is nice and good for us, of course. And Austro-Hungarians do look quite weak, though. I wonder if we might need to bolster them up here. We do have an extra army here for this specific purpose, Otto von Belov. And as soon as we start, or as soon as we stop training, we should be increasing all of these. And you can see it already with the armies that are completed. I don't have a lot left to deploy. And we are building the factories. Now we're building only military factories for a little bit. I think that's looking good as it is. Well, we're soon done with the 1916 heavy ship hulls, and we're going to be designing even more dreadnoughts. Now, these are almost completed now. The König classes are starting to roll out, and the Derflingers too. Oh, so the first flight across the Mediterranean Sea. Today, the locals of Bizerte, Tunisia, noticed a strange flying object, which was revealed to be Roland Garros, a French professional pilot, in his Marine Saulnier monoplane. This journey marks the first crossing of the Mediterranean Sea by air, an astounding landmark for the young science of aviation. Local sailors were reportedly not impressed. Aviators continue to amaze the world. The future to come. Bizerte is down here, of course. I think this flight it must have come from Marseille or something. Not too versed in this one. Here we got another. No, they're just in repairing. Well, we do have two more. Here we got the Prinz Regent Luitpold and Brummer. Brummer was a mine-laying cruiser that was served in World War II as well. It's not here though. It's just one of our Karlsruhe class cruisers. And then we've got the König class here, of course. Let's pop these into the fleet to be trained here. Let's actually grab these, I think, with the ones that have already been training. We can have them train up separately. And then we just have the green ships here. And they should have gotten that one automatically, yes. Okay, so Ecuador is in a civil war, one would assume. Yeah, it looks like the Alpharists won't be doing too much trouble here. See if we can actually select them. No. Alpharist Ecuador. This is a democratic revolution. Oh, we'll see. I shouldn't be too surprised by the outcomes here, though. These should be... Oh, they're missing some infantry equipment, yeah. Okay, so... Did they succeed or did they not? Yeah, they did succeed. So most of these things are scripted, of course, in this mod. At least on historical, so that you get a historical outcome and start of the war. This is another one that can go into that fleet. And we finish the Luftstreitkräfte. And we're gonna go straight down to Fokker. So that we actually get that unlocked. Alright. We are at 30% here. So we can... how much have we got? We got 30 days to do this. I'm not sure we can actually pull this off. It takes 35 days. We'll try. We'll see if it actually locks in and allows us to save her. If we can launch it directly, of course. Operations need to be the utmost highest priority. Let's just bump it this way for now. I'm guessing no, we need this over 15 days. So this is probably not going to go our way. It was worth a try. It was very, very, very close. Yeah. I should get refunded if it can't continue. Yeah, there we go. We did not succeed. I can keep building up the network here. Let's move him to Paris instead, though. It should be a better place to have your Intel network. Well, let's see who we can grab for the British network. No, we shouldn't fill out the Navy experience. We can always grab a doctrine if we need to, just so we don't cap out here, because the cap is still 500. Of course, you're not supposed to be saving experience, but the doctrines just don't provide any kind of bonuses to take early. Would probably be quite a cool thing to have. Alright, so here we finish the 1916 heavy ship hulls. And that's the last puzzle pieces in our next class of ships. I could probably keep this one on. We've done the damage control text. These are very important. Mine laying, no. Could do these bracket shooting, or we could do ammunition as well. 86 days, but I think we've got some... How are we doing for artillery? Because we don't want to switch until we've actually gotten this deficit done. That's 230 days. 400 days for infantry equipment. 121 for howitzers. And these are increasing now. We should be putting more factories into infantry equipment as well. Yeah, that's next up here. Let's probably want to put 5 into there. So we just finished increasing the howitzer production. We want to go to research screen again. We are getting the new trains running there. Which means we don't really need this in 95 days. We need it in about 200 and 250 days or something like that. Which means we can sneak another tech in before. We're not going to grab one of those, I think. We're about 400 days away for the being on par with the infantry equipment, so we will hold off a bit on that one as well. We should see it coming down, but it's a 160-day research, I think, once we're in 1914. 170 maybe. Could do the mortar tech, that's a really long one as well. No, I think we will go for the armor piercing capped shells. That's 86 days if we spend some experience. We got the experience to spend. So we will do so. And we've got a few more days until Fokker has been unlocked here. So let's... yeah, these are all going to be outdated again, because we did get free upgrades to the old ship hulls. That was oh, this is the new hull. We can decommission that one. Now we need to do it this way if we want to get rid of that one. I got the König class, which is our old ones, and this is going to be a copy of the König class, or the copy of this one, I guess. And the same thing here. We got a 1916 copy of the Dörflinger class. So we're gonna go through and fix these up a bit. This, of course, is going to be the Bayern class. And that's a battleship. Let's make sure that it is actually a battleship as well. Weird that they come up in that order. That the Bayern is the 4th ship there. And the Bayern class had even more guns than before. Of course, they already got the heavy ship battery 3, so we're just going to add a 4th battery. Unfortunately, it doesn't show anywhere. Maybe if we put it here. Oh yes, there we go. That way it looks cool too. We don't have any new fire control, we just got the one. We got the best engines up to date. Armor, we need of course battleship armor 3. There we go. Let's make it even more expensive. And even better, of course. I don't have any anti-air, don't have any radars to put on. So this is all we are getting for this one. Let's save that for a whopping 8 experience. Actually just replaces it. The Bayern class we had, can put a few of them in. There were 4 of them laid down. 2 of them were completed and 2 were not. And 2 were cancelled in favor of submarines, I'm sure of. And then of course we've got the... we are in November. We had in 1914, the next class of battle cruisers was also laid down. And that of course is the Mackensen class. No, that was terrible. And they were battle cruisers. I've already got the battle cruiser armor here, but let's pop on the proper armor. And we want to have on a 2nd battery here too. So we have 3 of them. Maybe we can put in another secondary battery there. And that's looking nice. So then we've got the Mackensen class. They're a little bit more focused on light attack than heavy attacks. And of course we've got a little less armor. But they're a good design for this. They're of course a lot cheaper. And we are building a lot more of these. So that's the Mackensens. Let's grab a few of those. And we had a lot of these that were being built. I think this is the correct amount. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect. Now you can see here we've got the Bismarck and the Gneisenau and the Scharnhorst and the Grafspee. There's a lot of names here you'll recognize from World War II. And these were laid down in 1914. Let's actually bring a few of these up a little bit. And that'll be good for now. And let's bring the Karlsruhe class up just a little bit there too. That doesn't really matter because it's a single. Let's bring that one up then. It might get started a little bit earlier and finished earlier. So a lot of these ships were finished during the war and not before, of course. We obviously don't want an infinite number of these on each line. 1 is good enough. These we want to be building just continuously, of course. There's not really a lot we can do for these just yet to make them better. We haven't researched any new equipment for them. So we will leave that be, and then we have designed a bunch more of heavy ships. And we've still got loads of Navy experience to spend. Now we're soon going to be able to unlock Fokker. And we should unlock Krupp at the same time, I think, because we're going to start doing the industry techs for 1914 in a little bit here. Or rather, as our researchers start to finish up here. I can probably fit in a bout of industry techs before we go over to the production techs, or things that we need to switch to. Okay, so we get a second operative here instead. Do you want Max Barkhorn or Marie Kirchner? Max Barkhorn is probably good for a little mission in London. Feels like Max would go down better as a name in smoking a cigar too. Or a cigarette at least. It goes down well in London. How are these doing? These need to be training just a little bit more. And they've got a few that are... He's got a few here that aren't fully trained too. So we will fix that. We grabbed Fokker. And now we want to... Let's see where we want to go. Okay, so we want to head over here, I think. We've got the eastern expansion going here. We need to start working a little bit in this tree to prepare for the upcoming year, of course. So let's go for the eastern expansion. That'll give us a little bit of political power and some war support. And a little bit of claims here on block and... I don't know, what more was it? Probably Plock and Calais. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, so now we want to select Fokker here first. So let's grab Fokker in. That's the fighter agility and max speed, which is of course very strong. Even more so here, because this is using the old system of aircraft. We also want to get... I probably want to have Krupp in here. Artillery research speed and industrial research speed. That's nice. It's not as big of a boost as it is in vanilla, which is 15% on industrial research speed. But 5% will take it. And 5% artillery speed as well. And we might as well just pop up the engine speed here by 1. We will get this, we get Fokker applied to the fighters as well. That is perfectly fine. That is the designer applied here. So now we have a max speed of 268 instead of 214. So that's a huge increase. We obviously want to get those into production. The production efficiency hit for putting in a variant isn't that bad. These are probably going to do alright. We're doing fine there too. Now we are almost full on oil. Okay, so we can move this fighter squadron over here, I think. I might want to have them actually in Frankfurt. That way we can have them on... might need another airbase somewhere in the middle here. Do we have a good... Oh, not really. Hard to see where the air bases will end up, of course. Maybe we would better off in with one in Württemberg. I don't know. Okay, so that's 180 days, and we are now 360 days until we are done with these. We don't want to lose our production efficiency until all of our troops have a gun, of course. But we can go and help them out this way. 130 days production efficiency cap. This improves all of our already built factories. well, slowly. And these will be done soon too. And there is an extra research slot that is available as well. I think it is down here, Research Bureau. But you have to be at war to be able to get down this path. So it's a little bit locked. How we're doing for, yeah, they're all trained up, nice. Might want to move them into Austria. Okay, so the armored trains are done. We might want to start building some railway guns. I think that's going to be a good one to have. Military police. All of these things would be nice as well. Artillery, how are we doing there then? It's 190 days. That was a 90-day research, it was a quick one. And I'd rather overproduce them just a little bit. I think construction or dispersed is better off, or more useful to us. So let's grab the dispersed industry as well. We do have the research boost to it now. And we've got a surplus of 21 trains. Let's just wait for this one to finish, so we don't lose all this production. Trains are quite expensive, so there we go. It's better to switch over when it's on the lower end, of course. And we lose a lot of production efficiency, but this means we should have a decent amount of production efficiency once the war starts. And this is a big component of our logistics, of course, so that's useful. Yeah, these factories are slowly getting built. And we can modify our government again. Both of these would be good picks. Armor design, we're going to pick this one up later on, but it's not that useful now. We don't need extensive conscription yet. We're going to need it when the war starts though. We're going to need war economy as well. Probably go down to limited exports at the same time. We will pick up a Rheinmetall. That's going to help us with the artillery research that we need to be doing. And there's a lot of artillery research. And we've got the König Albert. And we will move these back into the High Sea Fleet. The question is if we want to start training these ones up, maybe. We might as well do so. I might want to move some more submarines down this direction as well. Do we have any of the old classes? No. Let's grab 4 of these and put them down there. Now these aren't very good submarines, of course, but they are submarines. And some submarines are better than no submarines. If we look at the range they have, it looks like they are doing okay actually. And now we've got all our trade coming through the English Channel too, and the Bay of Biscay, which of course isn't where we want to have it later on. Probably need to do something about the convoys as well. Alright, so we finished the armor-piercing capped shells. Going ahead of time here is not what we want to do, and I don't think, well, it might be worth going for the light batteries. Or the dual-purpose secondaries. Or torpedoes. But we've got different things that are more important, of course. We would like to have this before the war. But I think construction is probably more important. How are we doing here now? 300 days, howitzers 40 days, artillery 150 days. Yeah, we don't need to be researching any of those things now. Howitzers, we don't get a new one until down here, so that's not a big deal if this one is done. Don't have that many howitzers in service though. Engineer companies will come in handy. Logistics would come in handy. We don't have the factories to start producing the railway guns just yet. Would like to start off the Carabiner 87AZ, but it's a little bit too early for that too. I think we will take engineer companies. These will be helpful all around the board. I've got a lot of troops that use them, namely all of our infantry divisions. We obviously wanted to add the howitzers here too, later on. But we need a lot of howitzers for this. We don't have that many howitzers. No, I think we had... Yeah, of course, we've got this one. We've already done it on this one, and we can just switch them up one by one. Adding the logistics companies here would require a little bit of manpower. We've got the manpower. We've got the support equipment. And we've got the motorized for this. And that would lower supply use by 13. I think this one has supply use, yeah. And since this is our offensive template, we probably want to have the logistics companies in here. And we'll research the improved logistics companies, and this will go down even further. So I think that's a worthwhile change to do. This means we will need to train these divisions up again. We've got our motorized division here. We might want to start working a little bit on it. Yeah, we're going to need motorized artillery, but that was not what I wanted to add here. We're going to do with the... I'm going to do World War II style motorized division. Don't think there were any proper motorized divisions in this time. But we will do it this way, and then we need some artillery. Armored cars. Maybe we want to have one company of, or one brigade of armored cars as well. How would this be? Yeah, armor of course is going to be abysmal. Armored cars don't really have anything. Yeah, they've got a decent amount of breakthrough compared to ordinary motorized infantry. And they've got the speed. So this isn't all bad actually. Obviously we're going to need some engineer companies. We're going to want some probably recon armored cars. You can have some howitzers. Yeah, that's logistics of course. Howitzers. We have a few howitzers, we got loads of artillery, we got some armored cars. 30 organization. Yeah, I think this is fine. Now, reconnaissance of course is better for defense, but I might be doing a bit of that too. Let's get the Kaiser mobile divisions. Yeah, 22 width. 22 isn't really that good, is it? How wide are these? These are 2 combat width. We might be better off trying to go up to 24 or 27. I could do something like that. Let me get the soft attack up. Well, they got a little bit of hardness. But they count as armor. And artillery. Might be... Do we want to use even more armored cars then? And no, I didn't have a plan for this division here. What would this be? This would be 40% armor. And this would count as an armored division for all intents and purposes. That means we could train up the panzer trait. No, the panzer leader trait. Soft attack is okay, organization is abysmal. The armor of course is abysmal. They've got a decent amount of breakthrough though. Yeah, I think this is what we're going with. Let's no. Can we remove one and put in more motorized infantry? That might help out with the organization a little bit. 30 combat width. We are still at over 40% armor. We got, yeah, then this is good. Okay, so this is what we're running with. This is a weird division. Let's build some. Let's grab 6 of them. In, I don't know, Würzburg. We need to switch this around again. Actually, operations can be up top if we decide to do them. That's gonna be just fine. Okay, so we finished the eastern expansions. There's claims on Poland. We get Kalisz and Block. And we are gonna keep on going down towards... Well, would be time to do this, I think. Aren't we over 25% world tension? I thought we were at 30%. No, we're at 22. Okay, so we need to skip ahead just a little bit. And let's then grab... Oh, military advisors? Yeah, let's grab military advisors. That's 70 days. Doesn't do very much for us. It does stuff for Austria mostly. Or it does affect our general staff. Oh well, this is okay. General staff is this one. That's okay. Outdated equipment. Yes, we are producing outdated ships now. And I think we should be okay on motorized. Yes, we got plenty of motorized still. We are missing some armored cars though. We're gonna want the second factory on that. We're gonna phase these out for proper tanks then in the future, of course. But this means that we at least start to get some armored divisions up and running. Yeah, that's good. These are training up again. These are our artillery divisions. Machine tools will soon be done. Let's actually grab some naval doctrines. And as much as I'd love going down fleet in being for the battleship ones, there's a lot of carrier ones up top here too. These are pretty useless for us as well, I think. I think we might be better off going down the trade interdiction. Going down... We don't need to go all the way down there. We can go to floating fortress. All of these increase the viability of our heavy ships. Well, not this one, but these 3 are for our heavy ships. This is for our light cruisers. And we've got the submarine ones over on this side. This is just as in vanilla, of course. Also reduces the detection, or not the detection, the visibility a little bit with these two, which decreases the amount of hits our ships will take. And we could, oh yeah, we just need to spend the 40 to unlock it here. The question is, yeah, we probably want to try to get down to this one as soon as possible for the battleship and battlecruiser surface visibility. That is fine. Next one is organization and strike force org loss. That is good, of course. And battleship armor would be nice as well. We could make our submarines better. We've got enough for 3 more. Well, actually, we'll probably take 2 and we'll save some navy experience for it if it's needed. Let's unlock floating fortresses. We have our surface fleet done. Going down the middle here is a little bit for destroyers, the torpedo boats. And then it's mostly carriers. So we don't have to do any of these here. But we will go down this line later on as well. Doctrines, we're probably better off going down towards strategic destruction. Multi-altitude flying is the one we are after, and then we've got the Zeppelins too, of course, doing strategic bombing. So that wouldn't be all bad to go down strategic bombing or strategic destruction. We are already vested into maneuver superiority doctrine. So this is the way we will be falling down here too. They've made a bit of changes in the trees here, which is nice. So the first one we've got here is actually more like the Grand Battle Plan one used to be, or these two. We've got the max entrenchment coming here from trench warfare. Continuous offensive increases our division speed or gloss while moving, which is something I love to have. Planning speed, really good, and enables unexpected thrust and gives us some more breakthrough. So that's a good tech. We've already got it unlocked. And we get this one with entrenchment speed and max entrenchment, and machine gun defense gives us more defense and reinforce rate. I think we will go down the armored raids one. I think we removed the cavalry, didn't we? Yes, so that might not be too useful. Now we want to go in and just have a quick look there again. This one is in, well, the cavalry recon detachment. We could add cavalry recon to our infantry. Breakthrough on our armored cars are probably not included in that one. And this is recovery rate and organization for cavalry and recovery rate for, and then we get the org for motorized and mechanized. Yeah, we're probably better off going down infantry support. And then we got tank warfare or shock strikes. Tank warfare, of course. Yeah, okay, so we're going down the left side here, I think. That's going to be the... We miss out on blitz then. But we get breakthrough here. For the tactics, breakthrough should be just as good as blitz. That is 50, 25, minus 15. Breakthrough is actually slightly better even. So that doesn't really make a difference that we miss out on blitz there. Well then it's decided. No, we've already got the cavalry recon detachments on our infantry divisions. That's really good. What do we want to have for spirits here? I know what you're thinking. Static warfare, it's World War I, of course. I don't think this is the way to go. I think flexible organization is the way to go. Further decrease that org loss while moving, so we can keep the offensive going when we manage to push through. And lots of artillery should enable us to actually push through. Aggressive reconnaissance would actually be something. But I don't think that's going to be worth it either. Okay, so Mexico is in a state of civil war. I think it's standing between maneuver warfare and flexible organization. I think flexible organization is the more sensible pick here. Don't think the 5% of additional coordination is worth it. Unexpected thrust is a good one though. And here we are going to go with a bold attack, I think. Embrace the future would be good. Get a panzer officer. Don't think we've got any panzer officers. It would be very weird if we did. No. We do have someone like Eric Ludendorff though, who is could probably be a good offensive leader here. Got a lot of attack. And we've got... no, he's a field marshal. Don't want a field marshal for this job. Trickster is actually a decent trait to have. He's an old guard though. Yeah, no, we're not going to go with that. I'm probably going to spend or keep Eric on Actually, we do have Mackensen. And he is already a cavalry leader. And he's got the staff, additional staff size. We haven't selected anything here yet. And we could probably... So he's already got the motorized attack and cavalry attack. We could groom him into getting... But he's old guard. He is an old guard. Otherwise that was a pretty decent pick. And we could get him into this kind of line. Yeah. That was a hard one. I'll have to think a little bit about who we're going to have as general for our motorized divisions then. How we're doing for supplies. We are doing fine on supplies. Yeah, we need to increase the armored car, but we don't need these at the outbreak of the war. We will get them when we get them, and we'll use them when we can. We've got infantry equipment shortage, 300 days. Yeah, we really need to fix that. We might need even more here. Let's get that down there and put another 5 on it. Can do it this way. And we're soon going to get a lot more big ships out. That's nice to see. We are missing some... Yeah, but that's because we set up a new wing, right? And then we need to start replacing all of our old fighters once this one is set up. I think that should be... Yeah, that's going to be button time for the war. That's going to be just fine. And then we start putting the Eindeckers on the front lines. But that's going to be all for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care and see you next time.